What's up, Average Dad fans? Welcome back to another video. And today we're comparing two of the best smartphones in the world. Yes, today we have the Z Fold 5 and the Xiaomi Mix Fold 3. Now, just a bit of context. I have been very vocal in my opinions on the Samsung Z Fold 5. Mostly negative before I got the phone, but they were negative purely based on the pricing structure, the upgrades from the Z Fold 4. I do think Samsung are kind of fleecing people. However, I've done a first impressions video now. I am content that if you're coming from a Z Fold 1, 2 or 3, the 5 is a worthy enough upgrade for you. If you have a Z Fold 4, save your money, don't buy the Z Fold 5. However, today we're comparing it against this. In my opinion, the world's best smartphone, let alone foldable phone. The Xiaomi Mix Fold 3 has been a revelation. I'm going to compare the hardware, the software, and a few other bits. Let's go. So when it comes to build quality and dimensions, they're quite different. The Xiaomi is a 10.9mm folded device with a 6.5-inch outer screen and an 8-inch inner screen. The Z Fold 5 is a 6.2-inch outer screen with a 7.6-inch inner and around about 13mm thick folded. So as you can clearly see, the Mix Fold 3 is much thinner than its Samsung counterpart. And display-wise, elephant in the room, the Samsung, a reason why I'm kind of annoyed with Samsung, is they've not redesigned their phone in any way. The outer screen is that 23:19 aspect ratio that is absolutely useless for humans with two thumbs. Whereas the Mix Fold 3 is 6.5-inch diagonal. It's exact same as any candy bar phone you get, with the exception of the S23 Ultra and the iPhone 14 Pro Max. The typing on the outside screen is fantastic, and that's again one of the benefits that we'll come to in my comparison is you can use the Mix Fold 3 day to day, carry it in your pocket, use the outer screen as if it was just a normal phone. With the Z Fold 5, because of that outer screen restriction, not quite as easy day to day. But continuing with design, the Z Fold 5 has a triple camera sensor on the back, and the Mix Fold 3 has a quadruple, which would be right, a quadruple camera sensor on the back. The one camera lens that the Z Fold 5 is missing, sadly, is a 5x periscope zoom lens. And yeah, we'll get to some photo samples later on, but it makes a difference. Now, powering both devices internally is the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2. Yes, in the Z Fold there's meant to be a Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 for Galaxy, but trust me, in any performance, gaming, day-to-day life, you're never going to notice that for Galaxy part. Interestingly, Geekbench scores actually have the Mix Fold 3 coming out higher than the supposedly overclocked Samsung chip. But 8 Gen 2 chip is the best SoC on the market in my opinion, and they're both Android 13 out the box. Now, obviously there is one slight difference. The Xiaomi Mix Fold 3 is not available in the Western market. It's a China-only ROM and device. There will be no global release, and at this stage, there will probably be no stable Chinese ROM flash that you can bootload onto this device either. So, definitely software-wise, it's going to be an easier sell for the Samsung. You've got Android Auto, you've got everything just baked in, whereas with the Mix Fold 3, you can download the Google Play Store and use 99.9% of apps. However, no matter what you try, you will not get Android Auto to work. Now, the skin on top of these phones are number 1 and 2 in the Android market in my opinion. The Xiaomi has MIUI 14 and the Z Fold has One UI 5.1. Samsung wins. This part's short and sweet. The ability to multitask, quickly browse through apps and the software engine, and with the customization that the free Good Lock app gives you, there can be no debate, no argument. Samsung wins this round. The software goes to the Samsung. Again, for me, it's one of the major gripes, is because if they just upgraded the hardware ever so slightly, they would have the world's best foldable device, bar none. They're almost there. Seems like the hardware is the easiest thing to fit. Companies have tried, like Vivo and Xiaomi and Oppo, they've tried to get their software optimization correct, but they've just failed. Samsung's better optimized and works better than the new Google Pixel Fold, and Google own Android, so yeah. Anyway, moving on from software, I mentioned it earlier on, there's cameras, but before I talk about that, I just want to say that the speakers on both devices are fantastic. The hinge on both devices is fantastic. They both have a flexible hinge. The Samsung's hinge is now on a par with others. I did find the Z Fold 3 and 4 slightly creaky, if I'm honest, but this is the smoothest implementation of a hinge that Samsung have done. And while I'm talking about what they've managed to implement, the crease on the Z Fold 5, Samsung said was going to be smaller or less noticeable, and they're right. Now, is the crease on the Samsung Z Fold 5 better than the crease on the Mix Fold 3? I'll leave that for you to decide. In my opinion, no. However, that gap, if you like, has certainly decreased. When you run your finger over both devices, which you're going to do when you're using the larger inner screen, yeah, both creases are barely noticeable. And I think overall that's just a major win for you and I, the customers, in 2023. Now, before I talk about how to buy and the price of both devices, I do just want to touch on the cameras. Both camera setups are actually fantastic. They really are. The Samsung is missing a 5x periscope zoom, or the 10x taken from the S23 Ultra. That would be the ultimate win if they'd done that. But what they've got here is that triple setup. 3x optical zoom looks fantastic. The processing that Samsung can do in their portrait photos and all lenses, to be honest, is getting on a par with Google and iPhone of late, to be honest. I'm really quite impressed. Xiaomi, they've got the hardware. However, the software on the cameras certainly isn't good as the Samsung, but it's good. Looking at these images as I'm talking, you can decide which ones you prefer. I think no matter which device you decide to opt for, if you are buying one of these, you're going to be more than happy with the output it gives you. In the video, all 4K lenses on the Samsung. In fact, you can get an 8K at 30 frames per second on the rear camera, which is mind-blowing. I don't use 8K, but it's there if you do. No 8K on the Xiaomi, and sadly, as always, on the front-facing camera, there's no 4K recording. It's capped at 1080p. So yeah, another tick for Samsung. And as I'm going through this video and doing the comparison, there's a lot of ticks going in Samsung's column. The one tick that I'll never give to Samsung is price, and it's just too, as Flossie would say, goddamn high. £1,800 in the UK for the Z Fold 5 is just too much. You can import the Mix Fold 3 for £1,300, actually a little bit less now depending on the storage and colour you go for. So yeah, I would go for that when it comes to price. There is not a £500 difference. It's arguable that the Mix Fold 3 is still better, but I'll leave that for you to decide. Now, in my day-to-day life, I'm happy with either. I would gladly use either of these phones. So, hopefully that's helped. If you are looking to buy the Xiaomi Mix Fold 3, you can't just go onto Xiaomi.com. You are best using my link to WONDA Mobile in description. Pay by bank transfer, and they'll take another 3% off if you use my link. And it kicks back $10 per sale to my channel. So thanks for the support for those that have already used my link. And when it comes to Samsung, there's no affiliate link there. Just go to their website, pay all your money, and yeah, check out the trading deals. Samsung do good trading deals, see what you can get for your device. And yeah, I guess just to summarise, I have been impressed with the Z Fold 5. I still absolutely love the Mix Fold 3, and I personally still think it's the best foldable in the market. However, we do have the global release of the Honor Magic V2 coming, I believe, tomorrow as we watch this. So I'm filming this on the 31st of August. Tomorrow, the 1st of September, I will be live streaming the event that Honor will unveil the global version of the V2. Well, I bloody hope they do anyway. And soon, at the end of September, we should have the release of the OnePlus Open, which is rumoured to pack a 5x periscope zoom lens and be more like a passport-style device like the Google Pixel Fold, which is ultimately my favourite implementation of a cover screen. So yeah, intrigued to know how all that pans out over the month of September. If you've subscribed to the channel, fear not, you're going to be updated daily. Yes, from now until the end of September, I will be doing daily tech videos on all foldables, some other devices thrown in there, so appreciate you watching those. I know you love the foldable stuff, but every now and then if you could throw in a little view of the iPhone event or something, which I will be live streaming as well. The Apple event is on the 12th of September. And yes, I'm rambling now. Hopefully you've enjoyed this content, and if you have, smash the like button, and until next time,